So YouTube land, welcome. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back, everybody. So we're gonna light a candle. We're gonna invite in spirits of the highest vibration to deliver messages for us today and see what spirit has to say. As you know, if you've been here before, I do channel messages. We're going to look at cards as well, but we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. I'm not usually in charge of things once I start. So here we go. Okay, we're going to invite in spirit of the highest vibration. Spirit seen and unseen. We invite in our angels, ascended masters, our guides for the collective of the planet. Well, that's interesting. It's like a lot of people just showed up, which I think is more like the collective unconscious, as I call it. Okay, so we're going to start with that, and we're going to just clear the space a little bit, much of the area. Okay. Cool. So start with some general information for what's happening here. I don't consider myself to be an astrologer, but I do watch a lot of astrology channels, and planets do seem to be moving right along. A lot of changes trying to happen. So I'm not going to go into all of that. Just if you feel like your life has been changing like a lot, or trying to change a lot anyway, would make a lot of sense to me. So, what does Spirit want us to talk about today? What is it that Spirit wants to talk to us about today? What is happening for the planet, for the people on the planet, and what is it that we need to know? So, Spirit is telling me that it is important at this time to, and really like always, right? But this is just a message that they're giving me today for you. It's really important not to look at things as challenges or obstacles. It's important to understand that we manifest things into our own lives. It's very much like the law of attraction, all of that. It's kind of like whatever we put out, we draw in, right? So if we are looking at things from a fearful point of view, oh, I'm afraid this isn't going to happen, I'm afraid this isn't going to happen, or I'm afraid this will happen, I'm afraid this will happen, then you're very much more likely to invite that into your life, especially if you already have experience with that, right? If you've already manifested that on a regular basis, then you're far more likely to be able to manifest whatever that thing is, like much more quickly. So, if you have always had these negative dealings with these particular people, then why did you feel the need to manifest that into your life in the first place? And why do you feel the need to continue manifesting that with those people? Why? It's like, there can be other avenues that you could try, or that you could bring into your life in order to, get what you're looking for, especially in terms of like support or things like that, right? Because the universe is always trying to help us, right? It's mainly us and the choices that we make that are creating the obstacles. It's like we make these choices, and we're allowed to make different choices. You know what I mean? So let's just see what is going to happen here. The Three of Wands keeps wanting to come out, and it's an interesting card. We'll see what happens if it shows up. So this is a time period really about letting go of burdens, right? The Ten of Wands is a card. We'll look at it here. Where's my camera? So the Ten of Wands, when you look at it up close, where's my camera at? This guy, this is his harvest, and he's almost home, right? So this is going to be a time period where, in the next coming time period, right? The next like week, the next 2 weeks, whatever it is, right? Because I don't necessarily look at things from a time period. I wasn't thinking about a time period with this particular reading. So I don't know if you want to call it timeless, whatever. When you show up, if you get the message, then maybe it's something that is important for you at that particular time whenever you see the reading. But this is about burdens, problems, responsibilities. It's a lot of hard work going on, right? But he's getting to the end, right? This guy, he's getting to the end of his journey, right? And he's been carrying all this stuff, but he's almost home. So, you've been doing all this work, and now, you're getting ready to reap the rewards of all the hard work that you've been doing. So, congratulations on that, right? And justice, right? Which is basically what we're talking about, right? Is whatever you're putting out is what you're getting back. That's balance, right? That's what the justice card is all about. Right? The justice card can also indicate a period of transition in your life, right? What is the word that I'm looking for? We'll see. So this is going to be a lot about making decisions that overwhelm you, and it's all about being tied to your thoughts. It's interesting because the Justice card is ruled by Libra, so this can bring up difficulties around relationships, right? And a lot about like trying to set yourself free from some relationships, especially if those relationships have been difficult for, I would say, if they have been difficult for a season, right? Because we're talking about a harvest, right? So, whatever the season has been, whatever the cycle has been, right? So it's getting time to be like letting go of these things and really lighten your load, right? Lighten lighten your burden, lighten your journey, right? It's like we have this Eight of Swords here, and the Eight of Swords talks about being tied to your thoughts, right? This person doesn't really see another way out, other than what it is that they're doing, right? She's blindfolded, but she can easily get out of those binds if she wants, right? It may take a little bit of work, but it's easily done, right? So, they're not like tight, tight, tight that she can't get out of them, right? And so the swords are about the mind, and so she's all about she's all about her thought process here, right? And so, very good. So the Eight of Cups is it kind of talks about like heading in a different direction, right? It's about letting go of things that no longer serve you, right? So, and this is an eight, and this is an eight, right? So it's going to be you may perceive it, right, as being difficult to head in a different direction, right? It's like because of the things that were told to you in the past, right? People have told you that, oh, you have to work hard, you got to do this, you got to do this, you have to interact with these people and whatever, right? And it's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. So this is all about how like we're moving in this direction here, really in order to set ourselves free, right? Letting go of things that no longer serve us. Right? So the Chariot card, which has been coming up a lot for me in my readings for myself and stuff. So the Chariot card is about moving forward. It's ruled by the sign of Cancer. So it's about, and it's interesting because we're coming from this place here, right? The Justice card about Libra, which is swords, right? Eight of Swords over here, right? And they're moving into the Eight of Cups and the Chariot card, which is ruled by the sign of Cancer. I'll just check my volume here. So I'm on a little bit of a main street here. But anyway, so this is about emotions, right? And the Chariot card, you can see the black and the white horses here, right? So, or sphinxes. So this is about like moving forward in a place of balance, right? So, and you can see this is somebody that's leaving the city behind, right? So it's like you're definitely in the process of leaving behind a lot of these burdens that you've been carrying around here. And it's really, it's very much to say like it's high time that you did. Right? A period of adjustment. That's the word that I was looking for. The Justice card. In the thought deck. Let me see here. The Justice card is called adjustment, right? So it's a period of adjustment, and so that's really all it is. It's like you're going through a period of adjustment in your life, right? But it's balancing things as far as like the relationships that you're concerned. And Spirit says that it can be relationships with people, but it can also be relationships with places and people, places, things, etc., etc. Right? So whatever it is that has been causing you burden is this adjustment period about like letting go of all this stuff. So the thing that's interesting about this, right? That's interesting. So the Strength card and your wish and the Two of Wands, going on an adventure. High Priestess, which is like your spirituality, and Temperance card, which is a place of healing. Okay, so we do have the Strength card, and it's interesting, right? Because we're talking about the burdens, right? And this guy carrying all of these like burdens, right? So you don't want to discount the things that you have learned, right? Strength, right? It's inner strength. It's not so much about physical strength, but you apparently have gained a sense of fortitude, right, in the face of burden, right, and you've learned to balance, right. These cards are meant to be the past. This is the present, and then this is more where you're heading to, right? So it's like you're coming from this place where it's like you've been able to learn how to balance things and learning a lot of like strength, right? And you have your witch card here, right? So it's interesting this because this is a nine, right? And nines are also completion of a cycle, right? This would bring up um, completion of an emotional cycle, right? So this can be a lot of difficulty here around relationship oriented things, especially around like emotional kinds of relationships, right? And again, we're talking about this thing about period of adjustment. We're talking about like leaving things behind that no longer serve us. This is a nine. So again, it's a completion here, right? And it's like, and so you're getting what it is that you're looking for. It's just been a lot of like hard work trying to get there and like finding this like inner strength to try to push you over your own inner strength, trying to push you over like this hurdle that I'm trying to get over this hurdle that you've been dealing with. And spirit tells me that like within the next like 3 weeks or so, with the two here, it could even be like the next like 2 weeks, or it could be within a period of like 2 days. But usually when there are a lot of major arcana cards running around, right? The High Priestess, Temperance, the Chariot card, the Libra Justice card, Strength, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 out of 10 cards, major arcana, right? That usually means that the universe is in charge of the situation right now. So you are being led, right? You do have the High Priestess card here. And so the High Priestess is about like spirit guiding you in the right direction, right? We do have the Two of Wands here, right? And so the Two of Wands brings up this idea about going on an adventure of sorts, right? He's like leaving behind one thing and moving in a different direction over here, right? And so he's got this like world card with he's got the world with him, the globe. So he's in this place here about looking out at the world and being like, oh, I want to go on this adventure, right? And so he's getting ready, right? So you're in this place here about making these decisions, getting ready to go off on this adventure, right? So with the Chariot card there, it's something that can definitely bring you to travel, right? When the Chariot card comes up, normally that would be, um, you know, travel. Like I usually say, this like travel to a different state, right? Potentially even like travel by car, right? But um, there's still some patience that needs to be had over here, right? The High Priestess is like our guides, right? I use this as like the goddess. And so it was pointed out to me before that the High Priestess, there's no ceiling here, right? So it's really like the sky's the limit. But Spirit is guiding you forward here. And with the Temperance card here, this is going to be a time period about healing, right? Because the Temperance card is about healing. And it is an angel, right? It's ruled by, the Temperance card is ruled by Sagittarius. So that's a lot about life fire, but that's also like Sagittarius is like the traveler too, right? So they can definitely, and we do see the sun in the background over here. um, so so this is again, it's about healing. That's what the sun is all about, right? It's connected to healing, and it's related to clarity, things like that. So with the Temperance card, when when I see that in other decks, right, sometimes it is more about like physical type healing, right? Because the Temperance card is it is a card about alchemy, right? It's mixing things that don't necessarily go together and have it become a third thing. right? You can see the balance here. There's the earth and the water over here, right? And then the two cups, right? Mixing things together, mixing like emotions as well as like being grounded, right? So it is, and fire, which is about being able to move forward, right? The Sagittarius or the Archer, right? Right, direct communication, right? So that's part of what it is that you've been in the process of learning here and moving into a better direction here. Um, and that could be why there has been difficulty around like relationships and things like that. Um, so there has been a lot of things like that trying to happen around here. So as they say, let's see if we can get some clarification around things. What's this here? So if you've been watching the readings that I've been doing recently, um, the last couple of months or so, the messages that keep coming through are about ascension, right? And they are about like letting go of burdens. They are about like this whole thing about kind of moving up this ladder, right? And letting go of difficulties, letting go of difficult people, letting go of difficult situations, right? And moving to this other place, right? It's like, when you're climbing the ladder, like emotionally and psychically, spiritually, right? It's like there's all this drama down here, right? With all of these people, all this chaos, all this like infighting, and all this stuff down here, right? But eventually, you learn that you no longer need it, right? It's like, what am I doing this for, right? It's like all this drama. It's like, and everybody doing the same thing. Like, oh, well, this one is doing this. So why can't I do this? It's like, well, this one is doing that. Why can't I do that? And it's like, because there's a different way. Because there's a better way, right? And when you're in all this mix, right, of all this drama and everything, all that, right? That's why it's difficult, right? But it's like gathering the strength, right, to move to a different level emotionally, right? Completion of a cycle emotionally, right? Going on an adventure, right? Going on an adventure, right? Recognition, recognizing that, like, oh, I can do something different. I want to do something different, right? Paying attention to your guides, right? To paying attention to your angels, right? Um, whoever your god goddess is, um, whoever it is that you're praying to out there, whether it is a god, whether it is a goddess, whether it's like people that passed over, right? um, you know, whoever it is that you're talking to out there, right? They are leading you in this other direction, right? They're leading you to, Spirit says that they're leading you home, right? Whether that's a new home or home being like comfortable inside your own skin, right? Because home, like your body is the home of your spirit, right? So it's a lot about being comfortable in your skin, right? When I see the Temperance card show up, um, when I see the Temperance card show up, it's a card that can suggest about balance within your system, right? Um, it can talk about like diets. It can talk about like letting go of food, beverages, like anything that you would be putting into your body, right? I'm not directing this, um, just at people with like addiction issues, things like that. All of that can be a part of it, right? It's like the Devil card would be more about addiction based things, But this is something that's more overall. Anything that you would be putting into your body, right? Like food, because it's talking about healing, like systemically, healing systemically. So um, eating better foods, or like having better beverages, or or not smoking, or not getting high, and um, and I'm not saying this is not a judgment thing, even though this is justice, right? It is about you making these decisions for yourself. What is good for you? What is not good for you? Right? It's not about somebody else making these decisions for you, right? It's about you deciding. It's about you deciding. It's like spirit leading you in this direction to be able to heal your body, right? And I can tell you from personal experience that this is not um, it's not a one and done. It's not something that, oh, I'm just going to decide to do this thing and like here we go off into the wild blue yonder, right? It's not like that, right? It's a process. It's a journey, right? This is why you have the Two of Wands here. This is why you have the Chariot card up here, right? Because it's a journey. This is why you have this guy here, right? He's going away from this area and moving off into this other area, right? It's a process, right? And it all comes from making a decision, right? So, um, so that's where we're at with all of that, right? So, but it is making this. It's interesting because these decisions are being made out of difficulties, right? It's about finding inner strength. It's like, oh, like I'm so tired of all this crap, right? And all the stress, all the anxiety, right? In other decks, the Two of Wands is a card called Dominion, right? One person trying to rule over another person, right? And it's about like letting go of that kind of drama, right? Deciding that, you know what, like I'm not gonna be, I'm not gonna be caught in between these two things. I'm letting go of the past. Independence, right? Um, because he's holding on to one wand. So, um, so the Ace of Wands is a card about entrepreneurial things. It's a card of it is about independence. It is about new beginnings. So, um, and but twos in and of themselves are about relationships, right? So it is about making decisions, difficult decisions about letting go of relationships that no longer serve you, right? Going off on a different direction, right? And investigating other kinds of relationships, more spiritual relationships, people who get you, right? Like things like that. So let's see. So again, we're talking about difficulties, we're talking about negotiations, right? We're talking about like manifesting things for your life, right? Which is what we're talking about, right? If you have these difficulties, right, why do you feel the need to manifest those, right? um, so, because this is a threes are a number of creation, right? So there's myself, there's the other person, and then there's a thing that comes from that relationship, right? So this is difficulties around negotiations, things like that, right? But things are working out; they're moving in a different direction here, right? As you remember, um, I said, spirit said, whatever come out of my face, right? That this is a process, right? And this is about a period of adjustment, right? It's going to take the time out. Like it's talking about working, manifesting, right? Um, in other decks, the Three of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, rather, is called works, right? So it's the great work. It's like the work that you're doing to get to that place in your life, to get to that, like, you know, see the joy is in the journey. It's not about the destination, right? But we're all trying to get someplace, right? To whatever the plateau is that we're trying to get to, right? And so that's kind of like what this is about. It's kind of taking time out, meditating, and kind of saying, okay, like, where do I really want to be? You know what I mean? What work do I really want to do? What it's like, because part of the Three of Pentacles is about life lessons, right? It's kind of about classes, training programs, things like that. It's not so much about a degree kind of a thing, but it's like you have been learning a lot of life lessons, and those things have been difficult, right? So you're talking about kind of like taking time, meditate, and allowing spirit to lead you, right? So making decisions that overwhelm you, right? You don't want to be rushing into things, right? But if you're taking time out, right, in order to meditate, and you make the decision to move forward, then things will come in like pretty quickly, right? Because that's all it really takes is like, I'm not gonna do this fighting anymore, and blessings will come in, right? So this is about things from the past. So I will say this. It's important that you are clear about where you want to be, clear about like who your friends are and who your friends are not, right? And do not be in the land of illusion, right? What I'm being reminded here of is that the universe abhors a vacuum, right? So you're letting go of these people, right? You know, these people who you seem to think are not really good for you, right? But the universe abhors a vacuum. So if you're removing people out of your life, right, then you have to be clear about like what it is that you're ready to be bringing in, right? Because people from the past, right, can try to rush in, right? And it's like, so this is a card about choices, right? Seven of Cups is a card about choices, right? But it's it's kind of about daydreaming and things like that, right? So it's like, oh, like it's kind of so it can be things that you were daydreaming about in the past, like positive things can come in really quickly, right? On the other hand, you have to be clear, right? The swords, right? Meditation, right? You have to be clear about what it is that you want to come in, right? Not just like, you know, um, not just like random things, right? Because the universe is going to try to fill that void, right? And I don't, I personally don't believe in like tests, right? Although there are like life lessons that are sitting here, right? So sometimes it's a situation where the universe is saying, like, are you sure? You don't want this. Are you sure? Like, we can bring you these like amazing things, right? But and you're trying to get rid of this, right? But you've also tried to do that before, right? So are you sure you want this gone? Right? So you have to keep part of it is like keep saying no, I don't want those things, right? But more importantly, it's like keep saying yes that I want these other higher vibration things, right? Stay focused, meditation, right? Stay focused on this is what it is that I'm manifesting, right? This is what it is that I want, right? By visualization, right? Make sure that you're right. Seven of That's Seven of Cups. It's interesting. This is the Seven of Cups, right? But you also have the Chariot, which is what I call the big seven, right? So a lot of the sevens are gonna be coming up around here, right? And things of the number seven, and you're sitting here walking away from things that no longer serve you, right? Part of it is sometimes the Six of Cups here can be a kind of pleasure, right? But it's like walking away from people from the past. They are living in daydream land, right? Like people, kind of just pie in the sky thing, right? And it's like, we're not telling you don't daydream, right? But we are saying be clear about what you're daydreaming about, right? Make sure that there is a method to your madness. Right? So, strength card and celebration, right? So, again, positive things are trying to happen around here, right? Um, the wish card, right? King of Wands, being in charge, right? Again, he has one wand, right? Same as the Two of Wands over here, right? He has one wand, he's being in power. This is a card that is ruled by, you see all the lions around here, right? It's ruled by sign of Leo, right? It's the 37th card of the deck. It's a number one. Where is it? Over here, this way. 37th card of the deck. So number one, right? Time period about new beginnings. Right? He is about being in charge. He's very charismatic, right? And you're learning lessons about how to have charisma, how to own your own power, right? And taking time and saying, well, where is my power coming from? Right? What is my power? What is my superpower? Right? Um, so looking for jobs. All right. It's interesting. This is about classes, training programs, things like that, life lessons, right? And then you have this other card over here that does have to do with money, finances, things like that, right? Page of Pentacles, right? Pages are about communication. It's talking about money, finances, things like that, right? We do have the Seven of Cups over here, which is the land of the daydream, right? But this guy here is kind of looking at that and being, well, that's the daydream land, but like, what do I want to make physical, right? Pentacles are about physicality, right? So what is it that I want to actually like manifest, right? So you do have to be clear about what it is that you want to manifest in order for that to be able to move forward, right? On the other hand, the Page of Pentacles is a card about like school education, things like that. I mean, the diploma is already in your hand. It's a card that says, business opportunities being presented to you, right? And, things going to start coming in quickly around here. Okay? So, again, right? Ace of Pentacles, right? Spirit is bringing things into the physical. Right? You're looking at things and deciding what it is that you want to be made physical. And so the universe is bringing it, right? They're coming out of the blue, out of the sky, right? And saying, here is what it is that you're looking for, right? Something that you've wanted for a long time, maybe something you've wanted from your childhood, right? Ten of Swords, like stress, right? So all this stuff here going on about like healing stress, right? It's like, oh, I've been living in this land of illusion for so long. I'm like, I've just been like daydreaming and daydreaming, and nothing is happening. And like, I have all these people fighting me. I have all these people kind of stabbing me in my back, and I have like all this like drama going on, right? And but you're moving away from that. You're moving towards the things that you have had in your daydream. Your 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 guides, your high priestess here is making things like physical for you, right? Tens are an ending, right? You're healing all of the stress, right? The Ten of Swords, right? It does show this guy here, right? With all these like Ten of Swords, right? Stabbing him in the back and all that kind of stuff, right? But it is a card about an ending, right? And yes, it's a card that can bring up a lot of difficulty, right? But you do have the Temperance card here, which is a card of healing, right? So you're healing all of these wounds, you're healing all of these scars, right? Some people look at the Ten of Swords as a blessing in disguise, right? Big kind of endings, stressful kind of endings, right? It's like, there's an expression that says, um, everything I ever let go of had claw marks in it, right? And so the other thing that goes on here, right, is that you're used to all of this negative things happening to you, right? And then all of a sudden you're getting these like new positive things, right? New positive things can create a lot of stress, right? It's like if you were suddenly given the thing that you've been looking for, right? Yeah, it would be wonderful, right? But you also have to not sabotage, right? Didn't we say something earlier about like blessings in disguise? Something, I don't know. I don't know. Scroll back. Those words came out somewhere along the line. The blessings were going to show up. So this is what it is that we're looking at around here. Some people like to focus that this guy, his hand, the way that his hand is placed, it's called a mudra. And it's the same as upside down. It's the same as the Hierophant. Why these cards all the other way? Interesting. Where are you, Senor Hierophant? La 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 la. Do 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 do. Don't tell me it's a card on the top. All right. So the Hierophant. It's the same. Is the same thing, right? So the Hierophant is another card about education, right? Schools, education, right? It's kind of about the teacher, but normally it's a card about a spiritual teacher. So because again we have the card of the high priestess over here, right? So spirit leading you in the right direction, right? Spirit bringing you messages about the things that you're trying to manifest around here, right? And again, like Gabriel, right? The angel over here, right? So spirit is definitely bringing you in the right direction. So it's like it's important, like we said earlier, right? That this is a process. This is not something that is like a one and done. It's not something that is like, oh, you have this thing, everything is golden, right? It's like, yeah, things are being brought to you, but you have to also make sure that you're ready for them, right? Is it something that you really want? Are you ready for it, right? And if your life changes in this like big drastic way, right, are you going to sabotage? And so you have to make sure that you have like the things in place, guidance, things like that, like appropriate people around you, friends, right? And people who are going to be able to be there for you, right? Surround yourself with like the correct people, right? You're raising your vibration, you're letting go of these people, right, from the past. Who are the people that are coming in, right? Who are the people that you're now going to be surrounding yourself with? So you want to make sure that they're not people who are stabbing your back. You have to make sure that they're not people who are daydreaming, right? You're moving into a whole new place in your life, right? Chariot card, again, right? Leaving things behind. Eight of Cups, leaving things behind, right? Um, so where are you going? What is it that you're trying to manifest? Who's around you that is going to help you, right? That is supporting you, that is giving you clear ideas, not daydream ideas, right? So things like that, right? It's a very tricky kind of situation, right? Because you're over here, right, from these people who you're used to, like backstabbing, people who are like trying to take from you, people who are trying to, all this like negative terminology and thought process, right? And so now it's like all of that stuff is being done, and you're moving forward, and like, who are you trusting, right? Are you able to trust you? Are you able to trust your own choices? Right? That's what's really important, right? If these other people came in, right, and messed you up, it's because you allowed them. It's because you trusted those people, right? So you're in this process here of learning how to trust you, right? It's your connection with spirit that is guiding you in the right direction. And by you being connected to spirit and listening to spirit, right, your guides, your angels, your masters, the ascended masters, you can Google them if you don't know who they are, right? Um, source energy that creates worlds, right? Whoever you call it, right? God, goddess, whatever. I don't care what you call it, right? You're looking for the spirit of the highest vibration, right? The angels, whoever it is that you talk to up there, right? Not just ancestors, right? They can help us, right? But you're looking for something bigger, right? Something that's bringing you more clarity, right? And so you just want to make sure that that you're surrounding yourself with people who are positive on a spiritual level, as well as like mental, emotional, physical levels. This is a big thing going on around here, right? The moon, a lot of lessons here about your um, trusting your intuition, right? That's what the moon is. It's about your intuition. It's about things that are hidden, right? um, Again, meditation, things like that, right? Keep moving forward here. Like who's coming at you, right? Again, we're talking about how you're letting go of people, right? But the universe is gonna like the universe supports a vacuum, so people are gonna keep trying to come in, right? And we're not saying that there's always going to be these burdens, problems, responsibilities, right? But you do have to stand up for your conviction, right? That's kind of like what this is about. It's like it is a kind of about conflict, right? But it's about people questioning you, like, why are you doing that, right? So, in its karma, this is the 47th card of the deck. This is an 11. So it is right. So there's a lot of chaos, right? So it's like it's about sorting out your priorities. That's what the that's what the 5 of Wands is about, right? It's like we're leaving behind all this stuff, and so there's this whole adjustment period going on. Like who am I trusting? Do I trust me? Do I trust them? Like who am I? Where am I going? What am I doing? How does this even work, right? So there's going to be a lot of investigations. There's going to be a lot of research, right? How do I get this thing done, right? So yeah, use like sorry, there's a hospital up there, right? It's an emergency, right? It's an emergency that you're sorting things out in your life, right? Like I don't use Google. I use like DuckDuckGo or something, whatever. Um, yeah, something that whatever search engine you're using doesn't matter to me. It's up to you, right? Whatever one you're comfortable with. But research how to get what you want, right? What does it look like? What's involved in it, right? Get comfortable with it, right? If you're looking for money, if you're looking for finances, right? If you're looking for relationships, right? What does a healthy relationship look like? What is the education process look like? If I'm looking for a new job, right? What does that take to get there? Right? The universe is presenting you opportunities, right? But you have to know for yourself what that is going to look like. And so research is your friend, right? People from the past getting off of the merry-go-round, right? The wheel of fortune is about things trying to move forward, right? It's unexpected things coming in around your life, right? Unexpected, really positive things trying to happen around your life, right? Death and rebirth, doors closing, new doors opening, right? A lot of people, a lot of places, things, right? Like just like an avalanche of people, just like leaving your life, right? And this feels like this stuff is happening like really quick, right? As long as you're open, as long as you're like prepared for where it is that you're going, right? Inner strength, right? That's what this is, right? Inner strength, fortitude, right? The celebration that comes from embracing that, right? Strength on top of strength, right? This guy that I follow, his name is Chris. When he does readings, he's like, when a card comes up again, it means I meant what I said. Right? Temperance again, right? Finding your inner strength, being patient with you. Spirit told me a long time ago, practice patience while practicing patience. There's all kinds of healing that is trying to happen here, right? Healing that you don't even know is happening, right? Subconscious healing, right? Emotional healing, right? That's what the moon is. It's about your emotions. Um, in Buddhism, they call like the heart the mind, right? So, however that's happening for you, right? Again, like heartache, Three of Swords is heartache, right? But it's like sorrow, but it's sorrow due to lack of communication, right? So when there's a lot of chaos, right, it can bring sorrow, right? But it's sorrow due to lack of communication. When there is chaos going on, be clear in your communication. There's a book called The Four Agreements, right? It says be impeccable with your word and never assume. If somebody is saying something to you, never assume. Get things in writing, right? If you do have the justice card up here, right? If there are going to be legal contracts, right? Make sure like you dot your I's, cross your T's, right? Read things, reread things. Plan to go on retrograde. Pluto is retrograde and Uranus is getting, I think Saturn is getting ready to go retrograde, right? That we're going into a retrograde season somehow or another, right? So it is about redoing things, right? So be clear, right? Research, investigate, right? Do not take somebody's word for it, right? Just because somebody said something to you, right? It's for their best interest, right? It may not necessarily be for your best interest, right? People looking to make a deal, right? It's the real world. Sorry, right? There can be amazing things coming, right? But make sure that it's real, right? Make sure that the offer is real. Investigate what it is that is coming at you, right? Be focused on what it is that you're looking for, right? The Eight of Pentacles is a card that is the Eight of Pentacles is a card that says, whatever ideas you have running around the back of your head, put them into action over the course of the next 8 weeks, next 2 months, right? But it's about staying focused, which is what it is that we're talking about here, right? Staying focused on the prize, right? Ace of Pentacles, the prize. What is it that you are trying to manifest? Stay focused. Didn't we already say that already, right? Stay focused. That's what we're bringing up here, right? And then you're closing doors, new doors are opening, and you're moving forward as the Knight of Cups, right? Like, he's going to cross over this river here, right? So it's about going through an emotional change, right? But he's moving forward in this like very, very clear, like emotional way, right? This is about Knights are about potential. For me, they're about potential, right? So he's moving forward here. This is a card that I use for like potential as a new boyfriend, right? Whether it's like you're the boyfriend, whether you're getting the boyfriend, whether it's a general reading, right? So whoever it is, right, is somebody who's moving forward clearly with their emotions, right? That's the Knight of the Cups, right? But the wings up here, right? This is Mercury, right? So it's all about like moving forward emotionally and being able to communicate emotionally, right? And isn't that what we were talking about over here, right? The difficulty around the emotions. And now you're sitting over here moving forward. So that's the path that they want to take. So if you like what you hear, click like, subscribe, share. You're getting ready to take an amazing journey right now, right? There are a lot of entities, we'll call it, surrounding the planet who are trying to raise the vibration of the planet, trying to heal, right? I did a video about it. There's a video they did about the council, something like that. Look for that video. It's only a few back. So check out that video. You'll see what it is that I'm talking about. And because I already did a whole video about it, I'm not going to redo it here. Anyway, congratulations. Good luck on your journey. Again, click like, subscribe, share, like all of that. And if this is your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. You're amazing. I haven't always liked the people on the planet, but I have when I get readings like this, messages from spirit in this manner, it gives me new hope. I have a history of depression and suicidal ideation, as they call it, right? And it's amazing I get into these places about, is it really worth it? And this is giving me a lot of hope, right? Because part of the Three of Swords, right, it is the Three of Swords, right? There's a lot of rain here, right? But you can see it's like the clouds are there, right? But it also is a card that we're talking about faith, that the clouds are going to pass, right? A lot of times I get the Three of Swords under the Mercury retrograde, and there are planets going on right now. There are things happening in the sky that are acting like a Mercury retrograde, right? So, but Mercury retrograde is not necessarily a bad thing. It is about redoing things, renegotiating things, revisiting communication, right? Like it's about redoing things. So it's not just about it's a thing that says like slow down, right? That's what this is, right? Four of Swords that was up there. Slow down. right? Take your time, sort things out, right? Investigate. Don't try to rush to work, right? Give yourself time, right? We have the Knight of Swords up here, right? A lot of people are going to want you to rush, right? Rush, 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 rush. Everything, right? All this stuff kind of coming at you, right? Like, slow down, right? Take time, be true to you, stand up for yourself, learn to advocate, right? Healing, stay focused on who you are and what you're about, right? Make sure that you're moving forward, right? Sometimes I see the wheel of fortune, it's going backwards, right? So you don't want to be in a place where you're backsliding. You don't want to be in a place where the people from your past are coming back, right? We're trying to get off of the merry-go-round. We're trying to close doors, right? We're trying to move forward in a clear, concise, emotional way, right? And this is only the Knight of Cups, right? Then we still have the King of Cups. But like I said, it's a journey, right? It's not a race, it's not a destination, right? You'll get there. So good luck. Good luck. And have fun, right? Ciao. So I'm gonna stop that. Stop recording.